Hollifield, professional guide here with Southern Appalachian Anglers. Today's guide series gear review is going to be all about fishing with monofilament versus braid to a fluorocarbon leader when fishing for river smallmouth, and when I would use one over the other per situation. To start out with monofilament. I like using monofilament when I'm throwing a moving bait. Something like a grub right here, for example. Monofilament, unlike fluorocarbon or braid, has a slight give to it. It stretches a little bit. So when the smallmouth comes up and grabs his grub, or when it comes up and grabs like a jerkbait with treble hooks in it, that give allows those hooks to penetrate into the fish's mouth. If I were to throw that on braid or fluorocarbon leader, since it doesn't have any give to it, more often than not those hooks are going to rip out of the fish's mouth. You won't get as good of a hook set. So the general rule of thumb, anytime you got a moving bait on, try to throw it on monofilament. My favorite is just Suffolk 6-pound clear. I generally will throw anywhere from 6 to 10 pound tests depending on things like water clarity or turbidity. With braid to a fluorocarbon leader, I like using this setup when I'm fishing bait on the bottom, something like a Ned rig, for example, or a Texas rig. Anything that's going to be bouncing along the bottom, I want to be able to feel those rocks and be able to crawl that bait over a rock or over a shelf or over a sunken log on the bottom, if you will. Braid is extremely sensitive. The only downside to braid is that it is relatively visible to the fish, and a lot of our rivers around here, we're fishing in clear water situations. So to compensate for that, what we do is we tie anywhere from a 4-foot to sometimes an 8 or 9 foot fluorocarbon leader. The knot we use for that is either a Crazy Alberto or an FG knot. My favorite brands of braid are the Suffolk 832 Superline. The Coastal Camo is my favorite color, it just looks really cool. And then I attach anywhere from 6 to 10 pound test Suffolk's fluorocarbon. Again, this is just a general overview of the two setups that I use most often when fishing for river smallmouth. Take this, apply it to your own fishing situations. Again, if you're using primarily moving baits, I'd recommend using monofilament. If you like fishing stuff like a Ned rig or anything that's going to be on the bottom, try out a braid with a fluorocarbon leader. It's extremely sensitive. It's going to help you feel that bottom, and when a fish eats very softly, very well. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below or contact us at SouthernAppalachianAnglers.com.